Good evening. Not sure if you guys can hear me or see me. If you could do me a favor and send me a message through the chat box, there's little two speak things on there, and let me know if you can hear and see my screen. Okay, yeah, I'm just sharing the screen right now. As long as you can hear me, that's a good thing. Actually, I think I can hear myself too. All right, I'm gonna give everybody like 2 or 3 more minutes to get signed in, and I'm gonna get finished setting up here. Can you see the screen as well? Like you said, you can hear me, but can you see the screen? Okay, good. Right now you guys are on mute, but I'll be bringing you off mute shortly. Well, shortly after I finish my initial presentation. So let me finish setting up. Okay. First of all, I want to say thank you for joining us for our first webinar. If there's any glitches, understand this is our first time doing this, so hopefully we'll get through the process pretty smoothly this time around, but just in case, just give you a heads up. Also, let you know that we are recording this, so if you miss anything, I'll send this out to you guys after the meeting's over with. And what else? Okay, let me just go through the presentation now. And I'm going to try to be brief on the presentation because mostly what I focus on for this particular webinar is to ask you questions and to kind of get some direction on what to present in the next webinar. So getting started. Basically, the overview is going to be, I'm going to go over what we're going to do. Then I introduce myself. I am the speaker tonight, Darrin Scorpio Campbell, and then we'll talk a little bit about IndieONE, the radio station. Kind of talk a little bit about the industry shift, question and answer, and then do a recap. And if you, I think the chat's working, so if you want to send me messages that way, you can. If not, I'm going to go to this in a second. Basically, the overview, we're going to do, well, let me turn this thing down one second. Basically, what we're going to do a Q&A after I do the presentation. Like I said, I'm going to try to make it as quickly as possible because my primary focus is you and to find out what you guys are looking for and what you need. You can send questions either via Twitter using the hashtag IndieTalk, or you can ask them live when I bring you onto the call where you can actually talk directly with me. Like I said, if you don't want to speak directly, you can either send a message via text message, Twitter, or you can send it to the chat box, and I can answer questions that way. I can read your question and answer a question today, but I can get the answer that way. This is going to be a monthly webinar, We're going to do it every second Tuesday. Of course, today's not the second Tuesday. We want to get it started. But starting next month, it will be on the second Tuesday, which will be July 12th. Right now, we're going to do it at the same time for the U.S., but alternately, we're going to plan on doing another version of this at a different time zone, or different time, because, of course, the Europeans and the Asians and the Australians, this is probably like things like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning with them over there. So we're looking to do this again, a version for them later maybe in a month or two at a different time. As long as you're on our database, you'll find out when those times are. Most likely the information will be the same, but it really kind of depends on who's going to be attending. The next thing is, if you have any ideas or things that you want to suggest for topics of discussion, you can send us an email. I don't know if you can see this email on here. I'll send you a presentation after the fact, but send it to IndieONEFM@gmail.com with the hashtag or the subject of Indie Talk Ideas. Let us know what you want us to talk about, or what kind of guests you want to bring on. Eventually we're going to bring on some guests today, but we thought it was better an idea to kind of talk to you first, get an idea of what your needs are, to make sure that you guys are getting what you actually want and need, versus us just giving you information that you can't really use. So that's kind of basic overview. And a little bit about myself. As I said, my name is Darrin Scorpio Campbell. I'm the founder and CEO of Scorpio Media, Scorpio Brands, National Talent Search USA, and several other companies. IndieONE FM is one of the companies that Scorpio Media created. So that falls under us as well. It's an idea that I came up with a couple of years ago. I'll go more into that in detail in a minute. I have about 15 years or so of corporate experience working in the corporate world. Got tired of that, of course. For over 10 years or more, I have had on-air radio broadcast and television experience. I have produced television shows. I have been on air. I did have time when I was in radio to actually be on the air as a DJ, but I did voiceovers and production for commercials and things of that nature. I've also been involved in talent management and consulting since college days. As I said, I've done television and some music production, and moving into film production as well. As the CEO of National Talent Search and Stomp USA, which is another one of my companies, we have attracted attention from MTV, America's Got Talent, and we've had talent from The Voice and American Idol contacting us diligently over the last few years. I personally have appeared on Fox Television morning TV shows. I've been on all 3 networks in different cities that we traveled to, doing interviews for the things that we were doing for National Talent Search. And I was featured in a movie that I don't know the name of. I didn't really support it, so I couldn't really tell you what it was about. But it was done under the branch of the Stomp USA project. And currently, we're in production or pre-production for the Making of a Boy Band International reality series, which I won't go into detail about today, but we'll talk about that sometime down the road. And if you want, you can always go on our YouTube or anywhere on our website to get information on that. Now, a little bit about IndieONE. IndieONE was created in 2014. Basically, the reason we created it was because we were constantly being contacted by talent, either through National Talent Search and even on Scorpio Media, other different areas of the business. And talent would contact saying, listen to my music or whatever the case may be. And because of the nature of those businesses, that's not what we did, or not what we do there. And I said, okay, I hate turning talent away, and I hate, not giving them an outlet. So we need to create something that gives them the ability to, showcase their music and get the support they need. And because I've had talent management experience, I understand the ups and downs that talent goes through, especially when they're starting out. So my goal was to kind of find a way to kind of give you guys, a platform to be heard and to be seen. So We created IndieONE, and IndieONE is actually the stepping stone to several other things we're going to be doing over the next couple of years. But the idea is, rather than having one person hear your music, anybody that goes to the station can listen to your music at any given moment. And quite honestly, if I listen to a radio station personally, and I have no idea who the artist is, if I hear a song I like, I'm going to seek them out. Versus if you give me a tape or a CD, it may or may not get listened to. And, the nature of people is if you pass out information on the street, they're more likely to put it down, throw it away, set it aside, and not listen to it. If they listen to radio, they're more prone to listen to and sit there and be engaged by what they're listening to because it's radio. They're not going to sit there and turn it off unless they hear something they don't like. So the idea is you're going to have a higher engagement by being on radio. Right now, 95% of the airtime that we broadcast of the music we play is non-mainstream and international artists. So you guys will be considered, I'm not sure where you're located yet, but you guys will fall in that category, I would think. And ultimately, our goal is to grow the listenership so that gives you a larger platform of listeners that listen to you. Now, we did a review of some of the music yesterday, and I actually was pretty impressed with some of the stuff I heard. So, I think you guys were informed that you're going to be getting feedback on your submissions in a few days. And I think sometime next week we're going to start rolling out the new programming. Excuse me, hold on a second. Okay, I'm sorry. You should be hearing pretty soon about your airtime slots and any other additional information that you're going to be in need to know to be able to promote yourself on the station. The only thing that we ask that you don't do is to use the logo without our knowledge. If you need information to promote your music on the station or anything of that nature, we'll let you know how to do that. Just send us an email. Two of the things we're going to be doing very soon, and one of the reasons why it's important to be associated with IndieONE, we're planning on doing an IndieONE Music Festival sometime in spring. Right now, we're looking at doing it maybe March or April, and it's more likely going to be in Miami where we're located. Anybody who's on air or who's been on air since we started, it will be considered for a slot to perform. Right now, like I said, it's in the planning stages right now, so I can't give you any details, but kind of letting you know ahead of time that we do more than just the radio side. We do things that can kind of give talent and artists more exposure beyond the online aspect. Another project we're doing, like I said, associated with the reality series, is we're going to be doing another music festival during the Fan Fest weekend. Right now, we don't have any details on that either, but that's going to happen sometime next year, hopefully, if everything goes as planned. And again, because you're associated with what we're doing, you'll be the first one to be contacted to say, hey, are you interested in doing this? If you have any questions about any of this stuff, you can ask me, like I said, shortly after I finish this. Actually, before I go on to the next step, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll go ahead and answer any questions, real quick questions. Let me get on Twitter again. You can send them in either the chat box or on Twitter. Otherwise, you can wait until you go live. If I'm going too fast, let me know that as well. Alright, looks like no questions at this stage, so let me go to the next slide. Okay, like I said, basically our goal is to do several things. Like I said, with the music industry, I think is stuck in a zone where it's stuck back in the 60s because for some reason, the music industry has not moved forward in terms of processes like with the royalties and with copyright laws and things of that nature, that for some reason they're stuck. I don't know what the problem is, but I think that's part of the reason why, in this day and age, a lot of kids, especially the younger kids, they're not even engaging with the majors, as they call it, because they can find other avenues like YouTube and other factions to be able to get there and promote themselves. And I actually read an article just the other day. They had the top 10 YouTubers and what they get paid every year. And believe it or not, some of those YouTubers are getting paid millions of dollars per year for the number of hits they get on their videos. Now, of course, I'm not claiming we're going to be able to do that for you at this stage. But the idea is that, our goal is to kind of empower you with some of the things that we know, or some things that I know, to kind of help you kind of, when you're on your own, do these things to kind of give you a little leg up in terms of your marketing, your promotion, or anything that you guys need from the business side. Because I know dealing with artists, most times they are not business savvy. So as a result, a lot of, kids especially, when they sign deals, they get messed over because they don't know the business. And that's one of the biggest things that I try to do, is engage and make the youth understand there's a business to this. For 90% business, or 80% business, 20% about your talent. And that's the reason why a lot of these artists that are out there who really don't, in my eyes, have true talent, but they understand the business. And as a result, they get these contracts and they get these big deals, and they can move on, and then you guys are kind of like left kind of fending for yourself. So our goal is to take like I said, a platform that we're creating here to give you guys a better opportunity to be heard, to be seen, and to make some success out of your particular careers. Now, like I said, we're not going to be a one-stop shop of everything in the early stages. It's still growing. So that's why I ask for suggestions and ideas from you, because whatever you can bring to the table will make things a lot better for us, and we can make this a collaborative effort. One of the other things that I didn't mention is, if you go on the air right now and listen to our station, in the evenings, what we do, we kind of schedule a specific programming. All of that music that we have on the air from that particular evening set is coming from a DJ that's in Ukraine. The DJ is not even in the country. So ultimately, we'll get more, U.S.-based talent as well. But like I said, my goal is really, when I started hearing music from around the world and realizing how comparable it was to the United States, I said we need to have a platform where others can hear this stuff. So, like I said, I listen to some of you all's music. I don't know if it was anybody that's on the call today, but I do know it's radio. A lot of it was radio ready. Some of it needs a little bit of work, but overall, I was pretty impressed with the work you guys are doing. Another thing that I've noticed, like I said, is with the industry, like I said, there's a resistance to change, and a lot of times it's slow to adopt new technology. I know back when Apple started first doing, I think it was iTunes, there was a huge issue with musician or music companies saying, well, don't put our music online, as far as obviously I guess they've kind of gotten with that idea. But like I said, there's a shift completely away from the physical to completely digital, and even digital is changing soon too. So, like I said, one of my goals is to get some more technical side guests on the sessions and the panel to kind of explain to you guys what's coming down the pipe, that things you may not know or may not hear by way of the media or your industry contacts. My personal background, I didn't mention this earlier, is my background is computer science and communications. So I have kind of a focus on both sides, but I kind of have leaned more toward the media side basically most of my life. But I got the technical side because I knew that was the way of the future. Like I said, the other thing that we're doing, and I can't really go into details about this yet, but we are working on creating the actual physical location as well as a network that's going to give us the ability to tap into talent literally around the world in a matter of moments. And part of that's going to be through physical resources, a physical building, or physical buildings around the world, and a directory that we're going to have created. One of the things that I have personally found, and I'm actually kind of going to do this right now, is trying to find a particular style of talent. Like, say, for example, if you're going to have a wedding in a particular city, and you're looking for a DJ or whatever the case may be, or a singer or whatever the case may be, just to do side gigs. It's almost impossible to find that because you got to start searching online, get referrals, call around, and sometimes it takes forever to get that information. It's amazing to me that in this day and age, you got LinkedIn, you have Facebook, and all these other resources, but nobody can really find talent the same way. So we're working on something to kind of resolve that solution. And again, that goes back to what you guys are doing, where you will have another platform that you can market and promote yourself. But like I said, I can't really go into details about it yet, but it is something that we're working toward. Now, with all that said, let me figure out how to get you guys in this call. Hold on one second. All right, give me one second. I don't remember how this thing is supposed to work. Hold on. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I thought I can add you in. So let me just go ahead and get you guys just to go through the chat for this time, and then we go ahead and figure out the next time. If you have any questions, send me questions via the chat box, or if you're on Twitter, let me know that as well, and I'll answer your questions that way. No questions? Okay. Do you have any preferences as to which social platform you use first? Facebook, Twitter, to break a new artist or something? Well, of course, I did some research just yesterday, and they're saying that Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat are the top social media platforms, with Twitter and I think others falling like far behind that. Now, I know traditionally I've seen a lot of times usually artists use Twitter, but I think it really, first of all, I guess it depends on where you're located. That helps. And the question is from Jay, by the way. So where are you located, Jay? Okay, New York. Now, I think this is a personal opinion. I don't think there's like a really right or wrong answer to this. I think in the case with musicians or music acts, personally, I would do both. But like I said, what I would do is create a fan page on Facebook. Actually, let me put it like this: if you were to really, the things I'm seeing now in terms of getting engagement, I think it would be better for you guys to use Facebook Instagram, and Twitter as a trio, not rely on just one. Because what you can I found out recently that Facebook is now allowing businesses to utilize Facebook as you can create a Facebook business page profile as well as a business profile on Instagram. And by doing that, they're already interconnected because Facebook owns Twitter. Facebook owns Instagram. So as a result, you can promote yourself, kind of, in sync. The Twitter side, the other thing too, and I don't know if you've heard this or not, video is getting higher engagement, and as well as they're getting higher preferences on social media. So if you're just texting or you're just putting on photos, they're being seen to a degree, but they're giving higher preferences to anything that's video based. So if you want to get higher engagement, it's better to use Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. The other thing too, Facebook has been very fickle about the video. They're saying that if you upload the video directly to Facebook and then promote it that way, it's going to get higher engagement than if you were to upload, to send out a tweet or to put it on YouTube and use the YouTube link to promote it on Facebook. So basically, it goes unseen. And Facebook is making so many changes, it's even hard for me to keep up with what's going on. That's the other thing I forgot to mention. And let me go back. If I were you, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Those are the ones that we kind of use as our go-tos. We have LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is more so for the business environment. But, it really, like I said, it really depends on who you're trying to connect to. If you're trying to connect to fans, I'll go with what fans are now. Depending on your age group that you're dealing with, like for the very young kids, like I'd say 14 to 17-year-olds, a lot of them have gotten off Facebook. They're now on Snapchat, I believe, and what's the other one? I know they're using Instagram. I don't think they're even using Twitter as much as they used to. So that's why I say it really depends on, potential fans. It really depends on the age group that you're trying to reach. Now, if you're trying to reach older adults, a lot of the older adults are now using Facebook. But